Today, I'll show you how I use the filling technique. With this technique, I filled in these areas in these tattoos, for example. I'll also show you which needles I use and which ones I would advise against, how I set up my machine for filling. Additionally, I'll demonstrate the mistakes you should definitely avoid. This is how it looks to the human eye, but I'll show you with a macro lens. Let's get started. For the larger areas, I use a 13 soft edge Magnum 0.3mm needle. It should stand about 2.5 millimeters on the needle module to work precisely. Ensure there's always enough ink in the needle module. I need to mention beforehand that artificial skin is not the same as real skin. Artificial skin absorbs ink much worse. On real skin, the ink would spread much faster into the skin pores. However, I'll still show it as if I were tattooing real skin, which will make it look blotchy, but on real skin, it would be a nice black area. Of course, I could tattoo it in a way that looks good on silicone skin, but that's counterproductive because I assume you want to see the technique I use on real skin. I make circular, even movements and don't go deeper than 1.5 millimeters. With the Magnum, I don't tattoo right up to the edges. I leave some space around and fill it in later with a thinner needle. Here's a mistake you should avoid when working with a Magnum needle that isn't rounded on the sides like a soft edge needle. It can strain the skin too much when filling large areas. I don't know anyone who uses this needle because it's simply too aggressive on the skin. Additionally, there are no smooth transitions at overlapping points. For the first pass, I use small circular motions in one direction. This step is to open the skin. On real skin, blood would start to emerge. It's not essential at this stage to fully incorporate the color for a solid area. I'll explain why later. Now, onto the next mistake to avoid. As you can see here, try to steer clear of uncontrolled movements. It's crucial to make controlled, even movements. This is how you evenly embed the color into the skin. I push the color that's on the skin in front of me and work it into the skin. I'm using a 13 Magnum here, but for larger areas you can use a larger needle. The technique remains the same. I've noticed that only about 9% of the viewers have subscribed to my channel. I'd be thrilled to hit 10% with your help, so please subscribe to the channel and like the video to support me. To minimize the visibility of the needle structure, I prefer to hold my needle slightly to the side. As a lot of ink falls onto the skin when working with Magnum needles, it's crucial to use enough Vaseline to make wiping easier. During filling, it's essential to work patiently and evenly and take your time. Rushing ultimately takes longer when you have to correct mistakes. Because of the rounded needle edges, you can't notice transitions between the two bars. That's the effect we're aiming for. To work cleanly at the edge, I use a 7-round shader needle. This needle extends 4 millimeters from the needle module, allowing me to work precisely. I always tattoo at 8 volts, but this varies depending on the tattoo machine manufacturer, and hence isn't a fixed value. You need to experiment to find what works best for you. Try it first on silicone skin to get a feel for the machine and voltage. To work cleanly at the edge, I prefer to make long, oval circular motions. Typically, I work directly at the edges with the Magnum needle, but because it requires a lot of practice, I'd recommend working as we're doing here for tattoo beginners. I'm doing this everywhere. I'm skipping the rest. Now onto the second pass. On real skin, the result would already look much better, yet a second pass is necessary because it takes time for the swelling to reduce and for the tattoo to bleed a bit. Once the plasma has come out of the skin takes the color much more easily. That's why I always take a short break after the first pass. During the second pass, it's crucial to tattoo in a different direction. This creates a kind of network under the skin that results in a solid black area. Never do more than 2 passes. Otherwise, the skin will be overworked, which can lead to scarring. Also, it's essential to reiterate that artificial skin doesn't accept color as well as real skin. Now on to the second part of the second pass. I'm doing one last touch-up with the thin needle. With this video, I've shown the technique I use for filling in tattoos. Remember, there are different techniques. This is just one of them. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel to not miss any further videos. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your journey.